Today I'm going to be attempting to do a continuous line drawing, or it's also called a continuous contour, or I've also heard it as the one line challenge, or how I call it, drawing in cursive. So I started off just in my sketchbook doing some quick, like, from my mind contour drawings. So basically drawing how I would usually, but only thinking of the lines and connecting them, so that it would be a continuous line. I'm doing this mainly because I hadn't drawn that day, so I needed to warm up, and also because I had never done a continuous line drawing before. Well, actually, I have done one like 8 years ago, so I feel like it's safe to say that I don't have a lot of experience with this, so I wanted to practice and see what I could accomplish, just giving myself like free reign and not worried about it turning out too great. And the other thing is, I've looked into continuous contour drawing, and they're meant to be imperfect. Like, that is sort of their charm, and they're also made to help you improve your observational skills, so like looking at references and things. So these first ones that I'm doing, I didn't have a reference. This was just me trying to just wrap my head around not lifting my hand up, because let me tell you, that's very, very difficult, because I don't know if you've ever drawn before, but I'm gonna bet that you usually pick up your hand. So it's like, it's this constant battle with your brain and your hand, and you're like, don't lift it up. No, don't do it. So it's very much just trying to teach myself to do it, and yeah, trying to wrap my head around what lines can connect without looking too weird, and like what parts really make sense to connect as well. And it doesn't really matter, is what I've learned, that it doesn't, like, you can really connect any line, and as long as it's not like cutting like a diagonal shape across the face that doesn't make any sense, you probably can get away with it. And then this one, actually, I accidentally lifted up the pen, so then I grabbed a different color one, and because I wanted to like finish it up a little bit, so that orange color is actually a second attempt. And then this next one is from my memory as well, or I guess my imagination, and I started with the eyebrow and moved down to the eyeball, and I just felt like I should be better at this than I was. I don't know, I was having a really, really hard time, and I was getting a little bit frustrated, I'm not gonna lie. It's just something about it, like, and this is the reason I didn't like start this sketch on like a whole new paper yet, is because I just really didn't feel comfortable. But I feel like this is definitely one of my best. I really enjoyed the way the turtleneck came out, and like the jawline turned out really well. And I think one of the biggest struggles is definitely like not being able to see under your hand, and you can't lift up your hand to see what you're working with, and you kind of just have to trust your instincts and just draw those lines. So that was another one. And then this next one, oh my gosh, it's these like creepy evil doll eyes or something. This one was quite enjoyable to make, though. I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of fun with this one. But it's definitely a little bit outside of my style comfort zone with those eyeballs. I don't know, they feel like they're piercing my soul or something. It's like something you'd find in like a thrift store, like the dolls, like those dolls in a thrift store, and they like stare at you. That's the vibes I'm getting. But when I was filming this one, it definitely wasn't entirely in frame. So yeah, let's move on. Okay, so I've done my practicing, I've got my paper, I got some pens here, but I'm gonna be using this Zig Writer. It's like a dark blue color. That way I don't have to really worry about pressing too hard, and I can just sort of glide across the paper and not get any wrist cramps. But yeah, let's start this out. I'm gonna do this properly this time, and I'm gonna use a reference. Yeah, let's just, yep, this is it. Okay, we're gonna start with the eyeball then, and move some down there. The eyebrow, it kind of like pokes out a bit, and yeah, come back around the eye. The nose, I guess, is here. I don't know, the reference isn't really that helpful, I feel like. Well, it's helpful, like, obviously, but like, I'm having a really hard time measuring the distances between like the nose and the eye, like just looking at the reference, because usually, let me do this ear here a second. Usually when I draw, I like to draw and like, well, it's so hard to talk and do this at the same time, but I usually like to like lay out my sketch on the paper, so really get a size and proportions of everything. Oh, all this oh man. But I like to get like a good sense of where the character or the subject is going to lay out on the page, and then I can, you know, work from there. But with this, like, you're stuck with one part of the drawing and then you have to work your way out of it. Oh, this bun's turning out kind of cute. It's not bad. I guess we could do the neck and like the shoulders. Oh, this is kind of a fun line. I really enjoyed that part of like my previous sketches as well. It's like that like collarbone area is really fun because it's pretty defined, like even in a photo. So like just creating the contour of those lines is really, really enjoyable for me personally. Okay, and then the other shoulder's over here, and she's kind of slouched a bit, so like, yeah, it would look like this. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. The reference, actually, the hand is up by her ear, but I've messed up already, so that's not gonna happen. Well, I could just do some more collarbone then. And, yeah, just define those lines a bit. And these wisps, yeah, these like wisps that come out in front of her ear. We could do her hair, like add some more detail to her hair. I don't know, from what I've seen, these sort of exercises usually are pretty simple, but I need to practice hair anyway, so I think I can just do this and use this reference and try to follow the flow of the hair. And do some more bun. Yeah, I saw a couple videos of people who've done this on like YouTube, and like they'll say like they drew for like a continuous amount of time, but I can't seem to do more than like 5 minutes max. I don't know how long I've been doing this so far. Maybe like 2 minutes, but like I'm not sure what else to do at this point, so I don't know. I feel like I'm just drawing over the same lines. I don't know, I feel like her face needs a lot of work. I'm not in love with it. Not in love with it. I like sort of the sculpture-ness of the face. It looks sort of like a sculpture to me. I kind of like that about it. But I'm not really in love with the actual shape of it, you know? If that makes any sense. It is so hard not to lift my pen. But I feel like I can lift it now. I don't really know what else to do. Oh, well, yeah, well, there we are. There's my attempt. But yeah, here's my first attempt at like using a reference. It's not that bad, actually. I don't know. I feel like it turned out better than like some of the ones I used without a reference. I wonder what would happen if I like put a paper on top of this. Oh yeah, and you can like see what's under it. What if I did this again, but let's see if I can, maybe this would help me improve a bit, like with my contour. What if I just, yeah, let's just go over this again, maybe, and see if I can try and fix those things that I didn't quite like about the first one, and just like maybe fix the nose a bit, because it doesn't really look like the reference. Maybe I can get this to look closer to the reference, because now, like I was saying earlier, I like to have like a good layout of my sketch, so I know like the distance between everything. So now that that's all kind of taken care of, what if I could like do a better job of these lines? Like this is technically cheating, obviously. This ear, but I want to see, this is a little challenge for myself. I want to see if I can actually make it look a little better. I know like contours or a continuous line contour isn't really about perfection or anything, but I don't know. There's this part inside me that just feels like I need to do better. That shoulder, I don't know what I did there with the tank top. That was kind of like a bad idea, but I can draw these collarbones. That's fun. Good shade under there. I see this line, like what I saw from like professional artists who do these contour drawings is they'll like any place that has like a shadow on the face, they'll like outline that. So that's kind of what I could try to do here. Maybe connect that eye to the what is that called? I did it already, but what is
What is that called? It's so hard to think and draw at the same time. I connected the eye to the ear with the cheekbone. Cheekbone. That's it. Gosh. I'm just gonna keep drawing and ignore that I was trying to talk. I guess I can't really edit this out because then people would think that I picked up my pen. So that's wonderful. Everything I say is going to be can and will be used against me, I guess. I wish I could make this face look better. I mean, it's a pen, so I can't erase. I can only make it worse, really. But yeah, I feel like this is better, maybe? I don't know. I kind of like them both in their own way. Like, I didn't put as much detail into the second one, and I kind of like that about it, that it's, like, simple, and it kind of looks like a wire that's been wrapped around into, like, the shape of a human, whereas the right one... Oh, that's my phone. The right one looks like, you know... more of a sketch, if that makes any sense. Because I went over like the same lines over and over again. But yeah, I could do this again. Maybe I could even do better. What if I try to do like the first one, but use the second one as like the sketch layer, and then maybe I can make it a little bit more stylized. Maybe I could attempt that. I don't know, this is really going in a direction that I wasn't expecting, but I'm kind of starting to have a little bit more fun now. So yeah, let's work on this eyeball again. This is definitely my favorite part. It's just that eyebrow and that eyeball. Like, and I think that's obvious because I think it looks the best in all three of these, like even this one. Like, I think the best part is just that eyeball, but I want to get this nose right. Maybe if I just... I don't know, simplify the shapes a bit more. I can get the chin curve a little. I don't know. It still is gonna, well, I don't even know what I'm saying. You can't even probably see anything, but I tried to put the camera at like a different angle, so it's actually angled towards my pen a little bit. I don't know if that makes any sense. Let's just work on this ear. Yeah, the jawline. And those shoulders are hunched, and then work on the collarbone. Yeah, well, collarbone's my favorite. Well, I said the eyeball was my favorite, but this collarbone is definitely a close second. I just enjoy the way those lines kind of like turn out. And then this bun, I feel like the hair is something that's a little bit on the weaker side here, so let's... no, this isn't getting any better, is it? Yeah, I think I'm going to, well, let's just give her her tank top then, and then I can compare this to the one that's under it. If it's not obvious, I'm not like tracing, I'm trying to use the old one and like make it better, but yeah, I think that's good enough for that. Yeah, let's look at what the other one looked like. Did I improve it all? Okay, I definitely sort of like stylized it and made it a bit more like my style, the way I draw faces. And yeah, it definitely has less lines than like the second or the first one. So that was the first, this is the second, and that was the third attempt, in case I ever forget. But yeah, there we have it. This is actually a very interesting exercise. I feel like I've learned a lot about like collarbones. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Just looking at like the reference and like collarbones and then contouring them. Yeah, I definitely learned something, so that's cool. If nothing else, I'm definitely much more grateful for the ability to lift my hand off the off the paper. So yeah, no, I'm just like very encouraged to just go draw normally somewhere else. Like I've just got this sudden inspiration to do that. Anyway, these were my attempts to draw in cursive, as I call it, or a continuous line drawing. I definitely recommend this if you're having trouble with references and like seeing the shapes in references. It's definitely a good exercise for that. And yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I hope you all have a delicious evening full of bubbles. Bye!